Sister Wives. Kody and Robyn's shocking $750,000 move. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well today, by God's grace. If you enjoy thoughtful updates and steady, honest discussion, please consider subscribing and tapping the bell so you don't miss future videos. Now, let's talk about a development that has fans buzzing, and not in a good way. Since late December 2025, conversation has been heating up across fan communities, YouTube channels, Reddit threads, and social media. The reason? Public records that reportedly show Kody Brown and Robyn Brown, the last remaining couple from TLC's long-running Sister Wives, have taken out a $750,000 home equity line of credit, commonly known as a HELOC, on their newly purchased luxury home in Flagstaff, Arizona. As of early 2026, neither Kody nor Robyn has publicly confirmed or denied this information. Still, that silence hasn't stopped speculation. For many longtime viewers, this move feels like a warning sign, especially given the ongoing questions about fractured family finances, unresolved legal tensions, and the couple's increasingly expensive lifestyle. To understand why this raised so many eyebrows, it helps to look back at the Browns' recent real estate history. After years of turmoil surrounding the Coyote Pass property in Flagstaff, a large parcel originally intended to hold separate homes for each wife, the plan unraveled. As Christine, Janelle, and Meri eventually exited the plural marriage, the vision of a shared future collapsed along with it. By 2024, Kody and Robyn had clearly shifted direction. The couple purchased a high-end home, valued by various reports at $2 million or more, under a trust called Whitestone Trust. The purchase marked a fresh chapter, not as a plural family, but as a monogamous couple starting over. This move came after selling previous properties and following the reported sale of Coyote Pass in 2025, which allegedly brought in around $1.5 million in total profits, with Kody and Robyn receiving a significant portion. On the show, Kody has described the new home as a blessing, lavish, comfortable, and well-deserved. But many fans aren't convinced. They've questioned how this level of luxury fits with past claims of financial strain caused by years of supporting multiple households. A home equity line of credit works a bit like a credit card, but it's backed by your house. It allows homeowners to borrow against the equity they've built. The difference between what the home is worth and what's still owed on the mortgage. Interest rates are usually variable and lower than unsecured loans. Still, $750,000 is a very large line of credit, especially so soon after buying the home. Reports suggest the HELOC was secured around December 31st, 2025, with a long repayment window that could extend decades into the future. Fans were quick to note that most homeowners don't tap that kind of equity within a year unless there's a major need, such as large expenses, ongoing debts, renovations, or financial pressure elsewhere. The reaction online has been fast and mostly skeptical. On Reddit forums like r/sisterwives, users shared screenshots of the records and linked YouTube breakdowns, raising pointed questions. One comment summed up the general mood. If you're financially stable, you don't usually take out a $750,000 HELOC a year after buying a house. Others speculated that the move could be tied to heavy spending, cash flow issues, or even potential legal disputes involving former wives, particularly Meri or Janelle, over assets and financial agreements. Kody and Robyn Brown broke. $750,000 equity line taken amid legal threats and so broke. Kody and Robyn burned through $750K as debt and legal trouble mount. Those videos paint a troubling picture. The central claim is that Kody and Robyn may be facing serious cash flow problems. Commentators point to several pressure points: a reported monthly mortgage payment hovering around $11,000, years of complicated family money arrangements, and the ongoing costs of maintaining a high-end lifestyle now that the plural family and its combined income has dissolved. Fans have offered plenty of theories. Some believe the HELOC could be helping cover legal fees or potential settlements tied to lingering disputes from the Coyote Pass land division. Others suspect it's simply about keeping the lights on, funding home upkeep, vehicles, and everyday expenses that don't slow down just because reality TV paychecks might. A smaller group wonders whether the money is being funneled into business ventures or investments, though there's far less evidence to support that idea. What really fuels concern is context. Viewers remember earlier reports of loans on previous properties, some as high as $130,000, and compare that history to net worth estimates floating around in 2025 that placed the couple at roughly $800,000. To critics, borrowing $750,000 against a single home under those circumstances feels like walking a financial tightrope. If things go wrong, foreclosure isn't just a theoretical risk, it's the nightmare scenario. That's a sharp contrast to Kody's long-standing image as the family's self-appointed financial strategist. All of this lands during an already volatile moment for sister wives. Season 20 and its one-on-one specials have reopened old wounds, with accusations flying about NDAs, uneven money management, and who truly benefited from the Coyote Pass sale. Janelle and Meri have spoken openly about how funds seem to flow toward Robyn's household. Kody has acknowledged failures, but continues to defend his decisions. Money has always been a silent character in this series, from the Las Vegas homes to the Flagstaff move that nearly broke the family. And now, with the plural marriage officially over, scrutiny is sharper than ever. At this point, no one outside the Browns knows the full truth. The couple hasn't addressed the HELOC publicly. Property records are real, but interpretations vary. Whether this move signals real financial distress or simply strategic borrowing remains an open question. At the same time, another emotional storyline has been unfolding. During the Season 20 one-on-one specials and follow-up interviews, Meri Brown made it clear she has no interest in joining what fans jokingly call the ex-wives club. Delivered calmly, but firmly, her statement stood in contrast to Christine and Janelle, who have openly embraced their post-Kody friendship and often speak of their bond with warmth and relief. As of January 2026, Meri's words have become a lightning rod. To some fans, she's taking the high road, choosing independence over bitterness. To others, it feels like lingering defensiveness, or even unresolved resentment toward Christine and Janelle. Either way, her stance highlights just how fractured the former sister-wife relationships remain. Together, these stories, money worries, legal shadows, and emotional distance paint a picture of a family still very much dealing with the consequences of its past choices. And, as Meri steps forward on her own path after divorce, viewers are left wondering what her future holds, and whether true closure is even possible for the Browns. The phrase ex-wives club didn't start with Meri. It grew naturally, out of the closeness Christine and Janelle developed after each of them stepped away from the plural marriage. Christine was the first to leave in November 2021. She spoke openly about feeling emotionally neglected and said she wanted a peaceful, monogamous life, one filled with joy instead of constant struggle. Not long after, she moved forward in a very public and confident way, eventually finding love with David Woolley and marrying him in 2023. Janelle followed on a similar path. She announced her separation in late 2022, with final clarity coming in early 2023. For her, the focus was independence, especially financial independence, and the freedom to live life on her own terms. As the seasons went on, particularly from seasons 18 through 20, Janelle began joking about her regular Zoom calls and hangouts with Christine, casually calling them ex-wives club meetings. The tone was playful, but the message was clear. Life after Kody felt lighter. Christine leaned into that language too. She often shared posts celebrating their bond, describing them as sister wives forever in spirit, just without the polygamy. Many fans found this empowering. To them, it looked like two women reclaiming their voices and thriving after leaving a controlling dynamic. Meri, however, never joined in, and she made sure Everyone understood that was intentional. During a key interview clip from the season 20 tell-all, later shared widely on TLC's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages, host Sukanya Krishnan asked Meri directly about her relationship with her former sister wives. Meri didn't hesitate. "I'm not going to be a member of the ex-wives club," she said plainly. "I don't think it's a club that needs to be had. Janelle and Christine have their friendship and their thing. I'm not part of that, nor do I want to be." There was no sarcasm in her tone, just clarity. She went on to explain that the distance comes down to different values and different paths forward. Meri pointed to her own support system, especially her close friendship with Jen Sullivan, and talked about focusing on personal growth, therapy, her Utah bed and breakfast business, and even the possibility of new romance. This wasn't a vague hint or a carefully worded dodge. It was a firm boundary. In another segment, when the club came up again, Meri appeared almost dismissive of the idea, reinforcing that she sees no benefit in forming an alliance based solely on having the same ex-husband. For longtime viewers, Meri's stance didn't come out of nowhere. She has often felt like an outsider, even back in the early days of the plural family. Long before the show began, Meri and Janelle had a complicated history. They were sisters-in-law before becoming sister wives. Janelle had previously been married to Meri's brother, and when she later married Kody, old tensions followed her into the family. Early seasons captured jealousy, resentment, and frequent disagreements, especially around resources and household roles. More recently, the Coyote Pass fallout reopened old wounds. Meri has spoken about feeling pressured by alleged nondisclosure agreements pushed by Kody and Robyn during the 2025 property sale, something she interpreted as an attempt to silence her. Although she and Janelle worked together during parts of that process, Meri has said she still felt manipulated and sidelined. There's also the matter of perceived slights. Meri has hinted that she feels excluded from Christine and Janelle's inner circle. Some fans point out that while Christine has publicly celebrated Meri's independence, those comments may have landed differently than intended, coming across as presumptuous rather than supportive. At the heart of it, their healing styles simply don't match. Christine and Janelle have leaned into public solidarity, while Meri has chosen a quieter, more solitary path focused on reflection and rebuilding. In Us Weekly coverage of the reunion, Meri summed it up again by pointing to those differing value systems. She made it clear she isn't against friendship. She's against being defined or grouped by a shared past, especially one that carried so much pain. The online reaction to Meri's comments has been intense, especially across Reddit, on forums like r/sisterwives and r/TLC sisterwives, as well as TikTok and Facebook fan groups. The conversation is loud, divided, and very emotional. On the supportive side, many fans praise Meri for what they see as honesty and self-respect. Some comments say things like, "Good for her for not forcing a friendship that doesn't feel natural." Others frame it as empowerment. In their view, Meri isn't playing the victim or joining what they call a pity party. She's choosing to move forward on her own terms. Supporters also point to her long history within the family, arguing that Meri was often treated as the scapegoat. After years of criticism and isolation, they ask, why would she want to step back into a group dynamic that reminds her of that pain? But critics see it very differently. Some accuse Meri of being petty or dismissive, saying she comes across as acting superior, like she's above the ex-wives club, while still showing emotional ties to Kody in subtle ways. Others suggest lingering loyalty, arguing that if she truly rejected the polygamy system, she would celebrate Christine and Janelle's freedom instead of distancing herself from it. There's also plenty of speculation about her personal life. Some fans wonder if Meri's dating experiences have made her feel she doesn't need the kind of mutual support Christine and Janelle give each other. Reddit threads from early 2026 dig into all of this, debating everything from Meri's tone to whether her firmness is actually defensiveness. One widely shared post summed up the criticism bluntly. Meri says she's not part of the ex-wives club like she's above it, while saying the same kinds of things she's accused others of. At the same time, Meri's current life tells a different story. One that suggests forward momentum. As of mid-January 2026, she settled in Utah after leaving Flagstaff and appears genuinely content. She's dating Ron, a man she met at a speed dating event featured in season 20. Recent Instagram lives with her close friend Jen, along with media reports, indicate the relationship is going well. Meri has introduced Ron to friends and described him as cute, compatible, and easy to be around. This marks a noticeable shift from earlier dating attempts, including a brief relationship in 2024 with a man named Amos that ended quickly. Meri has been open about how challenging dating can be after polygamy, especially when potential partners struggle with her past. But she's also expressed optimism and a willingness to keep trying. Beyond dating, she's focused on her own ventures, running her bed and breakfast, exploring wellness projects, and making occasional appearances on the show. Fans have also noticed her physical transformation and increased confidence, often pointing to her weight loss and relaxed demeanor as signs of what they call a real post-divorce glow-up. Zooming out, Meri's refusal to join the ex-wives club highlights just how permanently fractured the Brown family has become. Christine and Janelle continue to share a supportive friendship, sometimes pairing it with light, or not so light, shade toward Kody and Robyn. Meri, meanwhile, walks a separate path, not fully aligned with the ex-wives, and not connected to the remaining couple either. And as this plays out, Kody and Robyn face their own scrutiny in season 20, with growing attention on their financial decisions and unresolved emotional fallout. In the ever-dramatic world of sister wives, few moments have sparked as much debate as Meri Brown's calm but firm declaration that she wants no part of the so-called ex-wives club. Delivered with her usual composure during the season 20 specials and related interviews, her words landed during a moment of peak tension, when Christine and Janelle were openly celebrating their post-Kody bond. As of January 2026, with the tell-all episodes still echoing through fan spaces, Meri's stance has become a true flashpoint, one that says as much about where she's headed as it does about how far the family has drifted apart. They don't just point to Meri's independence, they also expose the deep cracks that still run through the former sister-wife relationships. Fans remain split. Some believe Meri is taking the high road, choosing dignity and distance over drama. Others read her stance as lingering defensiveness or even quiet resentment toward Christine and Janelle. Either way, the conversation has grown into a much bigger discussion, one that looks at context. Meri's exact words, fan reactions, shifting family dynamics, and what all of this might mean as Meri moves forward after divorce. One thing that often gets misunderstood is the origin of the phrase ex-wives club. It didn't come from Meri at all. Instead, it emerged naturally from Christine and Janelle's growing closeness after they each left the plural marriage. Christine was the first to step away, leaving Kody in November 2021. She cited years of emotional neglect and said she wanted a joyful, monogamous life, one that felt peaceful and affirming. Not long after, she found love with David Woolley and married him in 2023. A moment many fans saw as a personal victory. Janelle followed her own path soon after, announcing her separation in late 2022 and confirming it fully in early 2023. Her focus was clear: independence, especially financial independence, and the freedom to make her own choices. Throughout seasons 18 through 20, Janelle casually referred to her Zoom calls and get-togethers with Christine as ex-wives club meetings. The comments were lighthearted, but they carried meaning, small pointed reminders of the freedom they felt after leaving Kody. Christine echoed that spirit, often posting about their strong bond and describing them as sister wives forever in spirit, just without the polygamy. Many viewers embrace this narrative, seeing it as empowering. Women not only surviving a controlling dynamic, but thriving after it. Meri, however, never joined in, and she made it clear that was by choice. Meri, Kody's first wife, separated from him in December 2022 after 32 years of marriage. During a key interview clip from the tell-all, later shared across TLC's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages, host Sukanya Krishnan asked Meri directly about her relationship with her former sister wives. Meri's answer was firm and unambiguous. "I'm not going to be a member of the ex-wives club," she said. "I don't think it's a club that needs to be had. Janelle and Christine have their friendship and their thing. I'm not part of that, nor do I want to be." She went on to explain that the distance comes from different value systems and different paths forward. Meri emphasized her own support network, especially her close friendship with Jen Sullivan, and talked about focusing on personal growth, her Utah bed and breakfast business, and the possibility of new romantic chapters. This wasn't a subtle message, it was a clearly stated boundary. In another segment, when the topic came up again, Meri appeared dismissive of the idea altogether, reinforcing that she sees no reason to form an alliance based solely on sharing the same ex-husband. To longtime viewers, Meri's feelings didn't come out of nowhere. Her reluctance has deep roots. Throughout the series, Meri has often seemed like an outsider, even within the plural family itself. Long before reality TV, she and Janelle shared a complicated history. They were sisters-in-law before becoming sister wives, as Janelle had previously been married to Meri's brother. When Janelle later married Kody, unresolved tensions followed her into the family. Early seasons captured jealousy and resentment, particularly around Janelle's entry and how resources were divided. More recently, the Coyote Pass saga reopened old wounds. Episodes revealed Meri's frustration over alleged non-disclosure agreements pushed by Kody and Robyn during the 2025 sale of the Flagstaff property, something Meri described as an attempt to silence her. Although she and Janelle navigated parts of the sale together, Meri has said she still felt manipulated or sidelined. There are also perceived slights. Meri has hinted that she feels excluded from Christine and Janelle's inner circle. Some fans note that while Christine has publicly praised Meri's independence, those comments may have landed differently than intended, feeling backhanded or presumptuous to Meri. At the core of it all are different healing styles. Meri has chosen a quieter, more solitary path, focused on therapy, self-reflection, and new beginnings. Christine and Janelle, by contrast, have leaned into public solidarity and shared healing. She isn't anti-friendship. What Meri is pushing back against is the idea of grouping herself with others simply because they share the same painful past. And that distinction has fueled some of the loudest reactions yet. Fan response has been intense and deeply divided, especially on Reddit, places like r/sisterwives and r/TLCC sisterwives, along with TikTok and Facebook fan groups. Opinions are strong, and very few people are neutral. Supporters applaud Meri for what they see as honesty and self-awareness. Many say she shouldn't feel pressured to maintain friendships that don't feel natural to her. To them, this isn't rejection, it's self-respect. Others frame her stance as empowerment. She's not playing the victim, not joining a pity party, and not defining herself by what she escaped. She's choosing to move forward on her own terms. Defenders also point to her long-standing role in the family, noting that Meri was often treated as the scapegoat. After years of criticism and isolation, they ask why she would want to relive that dynamic under a new label. Critics, however, see it very differently. Some call her attitude petty, suggesting she comes across as superior, like she believes she's above the so-called club. Others argue she still seems emotionally tied to Kody in subtle ways, accusing her of lingering loyalty. A common criticism is that if Meri truly rejected the polygamy system, she would openly celebrate Christine and Janelle's freedom instead of distancing herself from it. There's also speculation about her personal life. Some fans wonder whether Meri's renewed dating life makes her feel she doesn't need the kind of mutual support Christine and Janelle provide each other. Reddit threads from early 2026 dissect everything from her tone to her body language, with users debating whether her firmness is confidence or defensiveness. One popular post summed up the frustration bluntly. Meri says she's not part of the ex-wives club like she's above it, while saying the same kinds of things she accuses others of. At the same time, Meri's real-life trajectory tells a story of momentum. As of mid-January 2026, she appears to be thriving in Utah after relocating from Flagstaff. She's dating Ron, a man she met at a speed dating event featured in Season 20. Recent Instagram lives with her close friend Jen, along with media reports, suggest the relationship is progressing well. Meri has introduced Ron to friends and described him as cute, easy to talk to, and genuinely compatible. This marks a clear shift from earlier dating attempts, including a brief relationship in 2024 with Amos that ended quickly. Meri has openly discussed how challenging dating can be after polygamy, especially when potential partners hesitate once they learn about her past. But she remains optimistic. Beyond dating, she's focused on personal ventures. She continues to run her bed and breakfast, explore wellness projects, and make occasional appearances on the show. Fans have also noticed her physical transformation and renewed confidence, often pointing to her weight loss and relaxed demeanor as signs of a real post-divorce glow-up. Looking at the bigger picture, Meri's refusal to join the ex-wives club underscores how permanently fractured the Brown family has become. Christine and Janelle maintain their supportive friendship and don't shy away from occasional shade toward Kody and Robyn. Meri, meanwhile, charts her own course, neither aligned with the ex-wives nor connected to the remaining couple. And that remaining couple is under growing scrutiny. Another major revelation landed during the Sister Wives season, 21-on-1 Tell All specials airing in January 2026. Janelle and Meri both alleged that Robyn Brown ambushed them with last-minute non-disclosure agreements during negotiations to sell the family's Coyote Pass property in Flagstaff. According to both women, the sudden NDA demand, supported by Kody, derailed an otherwise promising sale offer. This bombshell, revealed in the first part of the tell, all aired around January 11th and 12th, left fans stunned. Many labeled it a calculated power move meant to silence the ex-wives and protect Kody and Robyn's interests. Meri stated plainly that she would not be silenced again, while Janelle described the demand as coming completely out of nowhere, right at the 11th hour. All of this ties back to Coyote Pass itself, a long, painful road to closure. The 14-acre property, purchased between 2018 and 2019 for roughly $820,000 plus development costs, was meant to be the foundation of the Browns' plural family dream. Separate homes, shared land, and a fresh start in Flagstaff after leaving Las Vegas. Instead, it became a symbol of everything that went wrong. Christine Brown left the marriage in November 2021, Janelle separated in late 2022, Meri finalized her divorce from Kody in early 2023. That left Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri as co-owners of the Coyote Pass property, 4 people no longer functioning as a family, still financially tied to the same land. By 2025, Coyote Pass had become more burden than dream. There were ongoing taxes, no development progress, and deep family fractures that made cooperation nearly impossible. The decision to sell wasn't just practical, it was necessary. The property ultimately sold in April 2025 for around $1.5 million, generating a profit. But the road to that closing was anything but smooth. The real drama surfaced during negotiations for an earlier offer. According to Janelle, Talks were moving along just fine when things suddenly took a sharp turn. During the season 20 tell-all, as reported by outlets like People Online and the Ashley's Reality Roundup, Janelle described how Robyn stepped in at the last moment with an unexpected demand. As Janelle put it, Robyn suddenly said, "Oh, I'm not going to do it unless you guys sign this confidentiality agreement." Janelle explained that this would mean Meri couldn't take further action to recover money she believed she was owed, and that everyone would be bound to silence about the agreement itself. What made the situation worse, according to Janelle, was the timing. Robyn had been largely quiet for weeks. Then, just as the contract was nearing its expiration, she produced a fully prepared NDA. The effect was immediate. The deal fell apart. Meri's reaction was even more direct and far more emotional. Meri, who has long said she felt sidelined throughout the plural marriage, described the NDA demand as a clear attempt to silence her for no legitimate reason. During the special, she didn't mince words. She said it felt like a total power play. "It was all about silencing me," Meri explained. "They didn't want me to talk, and I could not figure out why. So when they say Meri was stopping the sale, damn right I was, because I'm not going to be silenced again." Meri suggested the agreement appeared designed to prevent her from pursuing any future claims, possibly related to past financial contributions. Fans quickly connected this to long-standing questions about money flowing into Robyn's home purchases and other assets that seemed to benefit Kody and Robyn more than the rest of the family. Backed by her lawyer and her close friend, Jen Sullivan, Meri refused to sign. Online, many viewers interpreted the situation as Robyn effectively holding the sale hostage, using the NDA as leverage to protect sensitive information, especially about how family funds were handled over the years. Janelle and Meri supporters believe their money helped fund homes and lifestyles that ultimately centered on Kody and Robyn. The word ambush didn't come from the cast, it came from the audience. Fan recaps and headlines, including coverage from Hollywood gossip outlets, labeled the situation bluntly: Janelle and Robyn Brown ambushed by Robyn to sign NDA. Several factors fueled that perception. The timing was last minute. The demand came as an ultimatum. And the power dynamics felt familiar to longtime viewers who believe Kody and Robyn often controlled decisions, resources, and even the family narrative. Kody, for his part, largely sidestepped the NDA issue in his tell-all segments. Instead, he accused Janelle of trying to push through a backdoor deal to sell the land without Meri. What he didn't do was directly address the NDA allegations head-on, and that silence only intensified fan scrutiny. Online reaction was swift and explosive. Reddit communities like r/sisterwives, YouTube channels such as Without a Crystal Ball, and social media platforms lit up with outrage. Many commenters described Robyn as manipulative, accusing her of financial hostage-taking to avoid repaying what they believe could be hundreds of thousands of dollars owed to Janelle and Meri. Theories multiplied quickly. Some believe the NDA was meant to block Meri from exposing alleged mismanagement of family funds, especially money tied to Robyn's large home. Supporters of Janelle and Meri praised both women for standing firm, saying, "Good for them for not being silenced." There were defenders of Robyn and Kody, though they were fewer in number. Some argued that NDAs are common in real estate deals or necessary to prevent further public drama. Still, those voices were largely drowned out by comments insisting that Robyn basically held Meri and Janelle financially hostage. This controversy fits squarely into the larger themes of season 20. Kody accusing the women of girl games, constant blame shifting over Coyote Pass, and Meri's clear push toward independence. In the end, the sale did go through, without the NDA, but the damage was already done. For many fans, this wasn't just about land. It was about control, trust, and the final proof that whatever the Browns once were, They are no longer operating as a family.